Okay, you lot, welcome, and today we will be recording a video on how to make both the YAZHEN syringe C item as well as JINCAO drink. I'm grouping them up together because essentially the blueprint for this and the machine itself is identical. The only thing you need to change between them will be the plant that you use for it. And yeah, let's go. Okay, so to start with, the build itself, it is a very slim build. It is a little bit on the taller side, but I wanted to make sure that everything is easily modulable, right? So it is 12 tiles wide and it is 27 tiles high. And in total to run it, you will need 120 ferrium per minute and either a YAZHEN plant if you want the syringes or the JINCAO plant if you want the JINCAO drinks. And for energy, it requires a total of 200 energy to consume, right? Now, as you can see, I have two of these placed side by side, so they are very small. And on top of that, as you can see, I placed them on the other side of my main build, which I have showcased in the previous episode. This is a build that essentially generates half gearing units and then half batteries, right? So it is able to sustain itself quite well, right? As you can see, I am slowly losing energy due to placing two of these, but here's the deal, you will simply not be able to place two of these due to the current limitations that we have. So while this does use 120 ferrium ore per minute, if you look at your HQ building at the very maxed out build, you will only be able to generate 90 ferrium ore per minute, which means that even if you build just a single one of these, you will only be able to run it at 75% efficiency. Now, you can increase the efficiency of one of them almost to 100%. It's like 95, 97, something like that. If you have the Valley regional level at level 12, right, what you can do is if you go into the regional transfer here and you start a meta storage transfer, make sure to select the correct one because there is the stockpile transfer and there is the meta storage. So stockpile essentially takes loot from one base and transfers it to the other. Meta storage is a much better one because it does not take loot from that one. It essentially just generates loot out of thin air. So make sure that you select meta storage. Of course, for Wooling it's not available yet, but for Valley, once you have level 12, you will be able to select this. And if you create a meta storage, I guess we can just showcase right here, right? As you can see, if you select 1,500 ferrium ore as the maximum and start the transfer, you will essentially be able to generate 25 ferrium ore per minute out of thin air. So out of the 120 that we have, it will generate 115, which means that we are able to run it at almost 100% efficiency for one of them, right? But yeah, I'll showcase how it works. So for the build itself, very simple. We have 4 outputs. All of them are going into the defining units, generating the ferrium. Then 2 of those are getting changed into the ferrium parts, and the other 2 are being used to make the ferrium bottles, right? And after that, the ferrium parts are the final item needed for the syringe, as you can see. The other item is the ferrium bottle filled with a YAZHEN solution, right? And for the YAZHEN solution, how it works is, first of all, we're supplying the bottles, but we also need the liquid itself, right? So for the liquid production, what you'll need to do is essentially we have a plant duper here. The cool thing for woolen plants is in order to make them work, you only need 2 buildings instead of 3. So we have the seed picking unit making 1 seed from 1 plant, and then those seeds are generating plants 1:2 ratio, right? Of course, they will need the water. I'll showcase how to set everything up in just a second. But yeah, in the end, we are feeding 1 plant back to the seeding unit and the other one to the shredder, where we are making the YAZHEN powder. Now this is already a healing item in itself, but you are able to make a stronger one. So we are feeding that powder into our reactor crucible. Now this is a newer item that I have used very little, so when using it, make sure to check where the inputs and outputs are, because it only has 2 item inputs, it only has 2 item outputs, but outputs we will not need in this because we are outputting a we're outputting a liquid which goes out of the right side if you have it set all like this, and the liquid input will be on the left side. Now I have set everything up, so essentially what you'll need to do is just connect one pipe to the splitter, and that's pretty much it. I try to make it as easy as possible, right? But yeah, once you connect this, essentially once this receives the powder and the water, right, it will start making this. Now you will need, if you want to produce a JINCAO drink, right, you will need to go into this building and you'll need to click the switch icon and select the correct solution. So for YAZHEN syringe, you don't need to do anything here. But if you do intend to make a JINCAO drink, you'll see that from these it will be a different solution. So we just go to here, select the JINCAO solution, and everything will work as well, right? And once we have the JINCAO solution being transported through the pipes, it goes into the filling unit, it fills up the ferrium bottles with it, and finally those ferrium bottles are going into the final packaging unit, where we are able to supply 5 of them every 10 seconds. So this one is able to produce YAZHEN syringe pretty much at 100% efficiency, or rather it's not 100%, right, because we simply don't have enough ferrium. For now it is working at 100%, but as soon as we run out of ferrium, it will be like 95, maybe like 97% efficiency, right? And yeah, identical situation here. All you'll need to change here is, instead of having the YAZHEN plant, you add the JINCAO plant or the seed, right? And in the end, as I mentioned, you just have to switch the solution. I think to make it a little bit easier, I'll delete the blueprint here and I'll showcase everything how to set it up, right, in both scenarios. So we have a single blueprint. You're gonna be able to get away with just one of them. Looks like I haven't deleted a little bit of road here, so let's do that. Let's also do this. So as you can see, it will import everything up until the splitter. So for water, you will need to bring it in yourself if it is far from your water supply, right? The pipe might not be enough and you will need to add a fluid tank in the middle. For me, it was simply not enough length to bring it over here. So yeah, as long as you add a fluid tank, it will be just fine. It will not drop efficiency or anything like that. So yeah, what you need to do is connect the pipe to the splitter. Make sure it is connected through the top, right? Because this is on the right side is an output, not an input. So yeah, it will only work if you connect from the top. And to get it started, simply add the seed that you want. So if you want to produce a JINCAO drink, add a JINCAO seed or a plant, which we're gonna add a JINCAO seed right now. And if you want to produce the YAZHEN syringe, simply add either a YAZHEN seed or a YAZHEN plant. Now, once we get some powder going into here, I'll showcase how to switch everything, because currently it is set as a YAZHEN solution, as you can see. But yeah, once it starts producing some JINCAO solution, go to switch, simply select the solution, and that's it. As you can see, it will start producing, and pretty much instantly this machine will start working very quickly. It starts up and you will be able to run it in less than a minute, pretty much, right? But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. As long as you have some ferrium stocked up, 100% efficiency. But if you do not have a ferrium stocked up, if you include the meta storage, you will be able to run it at maybe like 95% efficiency, right? So yeah, don't recommend running 2 of these at the moment. The reason for that is simply we don't have enough ferrium to even fully sustain one, unless you just want to manually transfer it between bases. But yeah, that's what we have for now. In the future, once we have more of it, you will be able to easily expand it by just duplicating it again and again. As you can see, you can just place the same thing here. Because it is only 12 wide and the base itself is 80 by 80, you will be able to place quite a lot of these, right? As long as you just expand with these. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed, and that's yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.